content provided in this video is accurate to the events that happened on April 29th, 2009. Write me a 300-word essay on my trip to Mexico. Name one landmark. Great. And copy that, paste, and submit. And no one will be the wiser. Oh, hey there! My name is Sunny Pandas, and I gotta talk about this game series that I've been really enjoying recently. The series is called Metal Gear Solid, a series that is made by the one and only Hideo Kojima. Now, personally speaking, I've been really enjoying the series ever since the 5th installment, The Phantom Pain. And since then, I've been starting to go back to the originals. And now, perfect timing for me, the 3rd installment is being remade, Snake Eater, which I haven't played yet. And I'm really excited to see Hideo Kojima redirect this masterpiece, which he's gonna go back and redirect it, right? Right? Now, the focus of this video is on the second one, Sons of Liberty. Major spoilers ahead for the first and second game because I kind of need to explain what the first game is so you understand what the second game is about. Right? It's a sequel. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And let's get right into it. Meet Raiden. 4 years after the events of Shadow of Moses, which happened in the first game, Raiden is tasked to infiltrate the Big Shell, an offshore cleanup facility, and is under control of the Sons of Liberty, formed by the old Dead Cell group. The members? Fortune, a woman with supernatural ability to cause incoming bullets to pass around her and to render explosives useless. Vamp, an agent with vampire-like attributes such as inhuman speed and walking on water. Fat Man, a demolition expert on rollerblades. And the leader, Solid Snake, the protagonist of the previous game. Supported by his colonel and his girlfriend Rose, for moral support, I guess. Your mission, save the hostages and eliminate Solid Snake. Raiden teams up with Pliskin, a Navy SEAL, and tracks down the Fat Man, who attempts to blow up the first core. With Fat Man defeated and the bombs defused, Raiden attempts to find Ames, one of the hostages. After making contact with Ames, he is informed that the hostages were not even the main focus of the raid. It is the rise of Metal Gear Ray and the Arsenal gear to detonate a nuke over Manhattan. For those who don't know, Metal Gear is a machine that is designed to launch a nuke from anywhere in the world, eliminating the need for missiles, with the recent Metal Gear Rex being completely untraceable. Something that happened in the first game. Now, Metal Gear Ray, this new one, is the first Metal Gear ever to be produced in mass quantity in exchange for losing its nuclear capabilities. And instead, its main goal is to guard Arsenal gear in order to further the goal of the Patriots, or the Lolly-Lule-Lo, if you wish to have a little bit of fun. Now, the Lolly-Lule-Lo is a covert group of 12 people from the early 1990s that controlled the United States, such as the US economies, information, and material distributions, all under their control. Everyone is a puppet to the Patriots, even the President of the United States himself. The goal for the Patriots is simple: form a unified world by being in control. The Patriots are shaping history as they see fit while maintaining their anonymity. While remaining anonymous. Anyway. Ames also informs Raiden that the Arsenal gear is a mobile fortress developed to monitor, block, and tamper with the internet communications, and the only person who can give the green light for Arsenal is the President of the United States, which, conveniently enough, is at the Big Shell, but away from the other hostages. One stinger puzzle later, and you're able to make contact with the President. He informs Raiden that the Lolly-Lule-Lo sorry, I'm done, I promise, are behind the raid of Big Shell, and that he is simply a puppet. He also explains that it doesn't matter what he does now, since the leader of the Sons of Liberty is the President of the United States, codename Solid Snake. Pliskin reveals himself as the real Solid Snake, which surprises no one if you played the original game, and he helps Raiden stop the launch of Arsenal. Solidus informs Raiden this is all for the S3 plan, which stands for Solid Snake Simulator, a simulation to create the perfect warrior. It is also disclosed that what is currently happening at the Big Shell was orchestrated by the Lalililo to mimic the events of Shadow Moses, which is literally what happened in the first game and in the second game. The Patriots made contact with Raiden under the guise of his Colonel and Rose, hinting at the dawn of the new digital age, allowing an overwhelming amount of trivial information to last forever and accessible to anyone, which threatens the progression of humanity, which is why the S3 plan actually stands for the selection of societal sanity. There was no attack on an offshore oil rig. It was orchestrated to test the capability of S3. The Patriots consider most human tendency to favor overthinking acceptance of unpleasant truths, harmful to society, as it would create great amounts of junk information that would bury what was indeed true. Finally, Raiden defeats Solidus on top of the Federal Hall roof, ending Solidus' attack. Raiden meets up with Snake and asks who he really is, and what he can believe. Snake replies, "It is up to you to decide what to pass on to the future, figure out your own purpose for yourself." After the credits roll, Snake successfully traced the Patriots, but discovered that they're all dead. Or are they? Right. There are two themes of this game that I want to talk about. The first one, misinformation. What is misinformation, you may ask? Good question. Misinformation is information that is misleading. Now, there are several examples of misinformation in the game itself. For example, Raiden believed that he was supposed to save the hostages and kill Solid Snake. Both of them were misled information. The S3 stands for the Solid Snake Simulation, which is not true at all. And that Fortune was told that she could not be hit with bullets or explosives. She was also lied to.
What?
Everyone was lied to. So what are real-world examples of misinformation? Well, look no further than in clickbait. Clickbait is when you have text and or images that are designed to grab your attention and so that you would click on the video. In fact, you probably clicked on my video today because of its thumbnail and because of its title, which are meant to design to grab your attention. Or you already have me in your sub box. In that case, hey, thank you so much for sticking around, and I really appreciate you. Now, there is a wide spectrum on what we define as okay and not okay in the type of clickbait that we consume, and it depends between person to person. I might find that Mr. Mogul Mail or Ludwig, that hey, we need to talk about this to be kind of okay as a clickbait thing, but I might find Allier saying Fortnite's final days to be extremely wrong, because I was just playing the game. And it's not going anywhere. I was just playing as Levy, hitting the gritty with my friends online. He has just this little face. He goes like, oh. In 2019, a study was conducted of 320 pairs of fake and real articles. Humans were only able to correctly identify the hoax by 66% of the time. In other terms, 1 in 3 people will be convinced that a fake article is real. Even further, fake news spreads significantly faster than correct media. The paper conducts that even after someone consumes a clickbaiting article, they are at best upset and disappointed, and at worst, spread the misinformation. Now, thankfully, now that we're aware of the situation, we can collectively work together as a community and work on this before something world-changing and that everyone needs to be on the same
So let's talk about the latest updates around the coronavirus.
There's now increased scrutiny on the public health response and the handling of those infected.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying.
And around the world have taken part in so-called freedom rallies. The rallies oppose COVID-19 measures.
You can't just lock people's freedom down for something that killed a small fraction of what you thought it was going to kill.
0.03 chance of dying from COVID in the state of California.
COVID-19, on the other hand, is completely new and has no vaccine, so the efforts we make to contain it and keep it from spreading are as important as ever right now.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light.
All I do is I watch the news once every 2 weeks. I'm like, mask or no mask? Still mask? All right, mask.
In case there's a time where people forget, the coronavirus, or COVID-19, is, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, was a serious infectious disease that could get anyone seriously sick and possibly lead to death. COVID alone has been responsible for just under 7 million deaths in the 3 years that it has been active, with an active count of 762,791,152 confirmed cases of COVID as of recording of this video. For those keeping track, that is just under 2.3 million per year. For comparison, the common cold only has 38,000 deaths per year, and COVID has 60 times that. Now, despite medical advice from world-renowned leaders like Dr. Anthony Fauci, at the time a member of the Coronavirus Task Force, the lead for the White House, and the director for the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, there were still people spreading misinformation. There was so much misinformation spread that you're almost forgiven for saying something that was a little bit incorrect. In fact, it got to the point that Joe Rogan said something so wrong that Dr. Anthony Fauci had to call him out and say what you're saying is wrong and incorrect because Joe Rogan was putting people at risk.
Rogan previously said on his popular Spotify podcast that young, healthy people should skip getting vaccinated for COVID-19 because he doesn't think they need to worry about it.
You are propagating the outbreak because it is likely that you, even if you have no symptoms, that you may inadvertently and innocently then infect someone else.
Which leads us to the next obvious question. Why? Why would someone do this? Good question. And after countless hours of non-stop research, sleepless nights, I can say confidently, without a certainty, that the answer is quite simple. I don't know. I genuinely cannot tell you with confidence as to why someone would purposely spread misinformation, especially during a global pandemic that is literally killing, well, everyone. I can only speculate about motives from political agendas to simply watching the world burn. In fact, it may even be possible that someone accidentally says something that is incorrect despite having their best intentions of saying something correct. However, one of the speculations I am more confident in is spreading misinformation for profit. There was even a scam in Collier County asking for people's medical information and their social security number to verify that they're giving their test results to the right person.
These are scam calls. Do not give them anything. Health officials will not call you asking for that information.
Who cares, right? Well, I only talked about one of the two themes. The second is hope. Snake mentions in the final moments of the game to find something worth believing in and to pass it on to future generations. Even during the game disguised as Pliskin, he is guiding Raiden into helping him question everything around him, such as why wasn't he debriefed on the mission of Big Shell? Snake represents hope in that we as humanity will decipher lies and help inform others of correct information. So how can you help? Well, one way to help stop it is to call it out when you see it. Show proof that what you're seeing is incorrect. Find good sources of information that have a good track record of being accurate, and show their work by citing their research. You too can cite your research and get in the habit of looking into other people's sources. In this video, you may have seen in the top right corner that I have been citing my work. That is helping me and you to help create a better understanding of the information that we consume. You should also get in the habit of doing this. It helps everyone involved. One thing that I also want to get in the habit of is also reading the citations, instead of just blankly looking at the source citations or the in-text citations and moving on with my day. That helps no one. I should also look at them and make them accessible. All references and citations are in the description below for all of your needs. My name is Suddenly Pandas, and I hope I made you think. See you guys soon. My trip to Mexico was a transformative experience. It allowed me to immerse myself in the vibrant culture, explore captivating landmarks, and gain a newfound appreciation for the wonders of the ancient world. Chichen Itza and its majestic temple of Kukulkan will forever hold a special place in my heart as a symbol of the enduring legacy of the Mayan civilization.